from the American Cancer Society's Action Network estimates there were 8,880 deaths this year from the disease. That's about a quarter of all cancer deaths statewide. Cancer is the top killer. It's tied with breast and prostate cancers, the most common. With news time 12:49, another deadly attack on an air base in Afghanistan. But as correspondent Carmen Gentile reports, NATO says the attackers failed in their mission because they didn't get in.
NATO officials say suicide bombers attacked a military base in eastern Afghanistan. Car bombings followed by a prolonged gun battle killed one Afghan soldier and injured several foreign troops at Jalalabad airfield. The Taliban claims they were able to enter the base. However, U.S. military officials say no militants breached the perimeter.
The suicide bombers and at least 5 Afghans were killed. In the latest political twist in Egypt, the country's highest court is suspending its work indefinitely. Protesters stopped judges from going to work and issuing a ruling on a new constitution. Correspondent Mark Levine has more from Cairo.
Noisy Muslim Brotherhood demonstrators kept the justices of Egypt's Supreme Constitutional Court away from their building, forcing them to postpone a ruling on the body drawing up Egypt's new constitution. Anyway, the body already approved the document in a snap vote called by President Mohamed Morsi to beat the court's ruling. One of several steps by Morsi that have inflamed the atmosphere and brought thousands out into the streets, for and against the Islamic president. Opponents say he's on a power trip.
Morsi issued several decrees a couple of weeks ago that gave him sweeping powers, also extending immunity from the courts to a panel drafting the new constitution. China is expressing concerns about North Korea's rocket launching plans. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman issued a statement today saying the region should avoid acts that raise tensions and observe the U.S. Security Council's guidelines. North Korea is planning a launch sometime between the 10th and 22nd of this month. The last launch 8 months ago was seen as an embarrassing failure. It broke apart and didn't get far. South Korea's presidential election is on the 19th. When's news time 12:50. Army Private Bradley Manning's pretrial hearing continues today, with the court asking whether the U.S. government punished him too harshly before being released. Several workers at his Marine holding cell are suggesting that's the case, as we hear from correspondent Andy Field.
The government has charged Army Private Bradley Manning with giving WikiLeaks damaging classified information. They've held him in a Marine Corps jail for nearly a year. His lawyers say the isolation and treatment was so severe that a judge should drop the case. Several former workers at that Marine brig testifying that Manning was so withdrawn, they worried he might take his own life.
24-year-old Manning is charged with 22 offenses, including aiding the enemy, and he could get life in prison. With news time 12:51, time for traffic and transit on the one. Here's Brian Britton.
And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Looking at the inbound Lincoln through the Jam Canyon, moving very nicely. The inbound Holland. From the Turnpike, you've got roughly a 15-minute delay. No inbound delay from 1 and 9. And the George Washington Bridge really holding together very nicely as well. Out of town at the Holland, we do have a minimal delay city side, but then very slow on the Jersey side. All because of construction here on 1 and 9. Getting into Tunnelly Circle, we've got one lane knocked out until about 3 p.m. later this afternoon, and we are seeing brake lights as a result. At 280 in New Jersey, westbound at exit 10, crash cleared out of the way. Still a bit slow, though, back for about a mile. Route 17 southbound at Route 46 in Hasbrook Heights. That's construction, knocking out one lane. Let's go to the boroughs. Let's go to Queens. We stand the LIE outside of Grand Central on that eastbound side of the LIE. You're moving much better. In Brooklyn, the inbound Gowanus looking better, too, from the Belt Merge getting up to the Prospect. A little bit of a slowdown, but no crashes, no disabled vehicles now. And on the Belt, it is roadwork westbound at the Mill Basin Drawbridge. Left lane is knocked out. You are slow back from Rockaway Parkway. And a jam, give me a call at 877-466-1010. I'm Brian Britton. Next report at 1:01 on 10 Win.
It's the Happy Honda Day sales event. Go to trihonda.com to find great deals at a dealer near you.
With news time 12:52. Now the official 1010 Winds AccuWeather 4-day forecast sponsored by Tech and Trails. Here's meteorologist Vince Daniel with this live report.
So we've had fog all morning long. It's finally starting to lift across the area. Still a few patches of dense fog here and there. Otherwise, we're just going to see the clouds linger much in the afternoon, but some sunshine at times. Temperatures will be climbing. We'll be up to 55 degrees this afternoon. Otherwise, tonight, a mild night, but we'll have some rain to deal with this evening. Rain beginning around 7 o'clock or so, continuing much of the evening. Some fog late tonight, you're low 48. And tomorrow, partly sunny up to 60 degrees. Tuesday, partly sunny 64. And Wednesday finally cools off all the high at 52. Right now in Central Park, it's 48 degrees and cloudy. Humidity 86%. Wind is out of the southwest at 4. Repeating the current temperature is 48, going down to 55 in Midtown. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dave Samuel on New York's weather station, 1010 winds.
News time 12:53. Snow season's on the way. Tenton Trails on Park Place, Lower Manhattan reminds you to be prepared. Get those boots from the back of your closet. Find your winter jackets. Be snow smart at Tenton Trails, 21 Park Place. Call 212-227-1760. Open 7 days a week. For 50 years, Tenton Trails, the most authentic outdoor store in New York. Get your winter clothing, snow boots, hats, warm gloves, and socks at Tenton Trails. Don't be caught out in the cold. Tenton Trails, 212-227-1760 or tentrails.com.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-895-8035. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Donate your vehicle and you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-895-8035. That's 1-800-895-8035.
When's news time? 12:54. Your absolute favorite part of any meal, there's a new city walking tour for you. Sugar Tooth Tours, which already has a dessert tour of Hell's Kitchen, has a new one for the Union Square area that just started this weekend. Co-founder and guide Sarah Rollison says sampling sweets isn't just for tourists.
One of the things that we've been really happy with since we launched in October was that we've had a lot of locals come on the tour, a lot of them bringing friends who are visiting from out of town. And I can't even tell you how many times we've had people say, I haven't been to any of the stops on your tour.
She says the groups are small and the destinations include some secret spots. When's news time? 12:55. Northern California is bracing for more horrendous weather. Correspondent Ed Donahue has the latest.
Just like the previous storms, there will be drenching rain and flooding.
1 to 3 inches in most urban areas, with 3 to 7 inches in the higher elevations.
Austin Cross is with the National Weather Service. Flooding is expected in places from Lake Tahoe to Napa. The Napa River overwhelmed downtown Napa in 2005, flooding or destroying about 1,000 homes. City official Danny Lerma says 700 bags with 10 tons of sand or fill.
When you see it happen, you always remember and you say, I'm going to be better prepared.
A state of emergency is in effect in parts of Nevada, including Reno and Sparks.
When's news time? 12:56. Now Money Watch on 1010 Win, sponsored by Lehman College Graduate Admissions Office. Here's Tracy Johnson.
Americans who give to one type of charitable fund are feeling more giving this year. Funds managed by Fidelity, Schwab, and Vanguard are seeing large rates of growth. These are called donor-advised funds, and they distribute your donations to charities. Have been growing year by year as more people learn about this method.